Hey guys, welcome back. Carter, BitsBeTrippin. We got a good one for you today. Lots of questions have came in when it comes to dual mining and what is the impact to the GPU. So we're going to peel back real quick. What is dual mining and what does it actually do to the GPU? We have the power meter hooked up. You guys are going to want to watch this. Let's jump to the sponsor and get into this. Decentralization is one of the most important factors in a global cryptocurrency network. Bitcoin's proof of work functions due to the exceptional security provided by the miners of the network. Today's sponsor is Compass Mining, a company with a customer-focused experience providing a tailored approach to purchasing, hosting, or even an at-home option, allowing anyone the opportunity to participate. If this interests you, head over to compassmining.io. All right, guys, we're back. Let's answer the question real quick on what is dual mining. So dual mining is using the full capability of your GPU. When you're mining something like Ethereum that is memory intensive, it doesn't usually use the core that much. Thereby, we can actually downgrade the core's actual performance because it's not going to impact the hash rate that you get on Ethereum. And you'll see that with a lot of configurations where we do like a negative 200 core speed, and we can actually drop down the millivolts to actually save power when we're just mining with the intensity on the memory itself. So what the dual mining allows you to do is take something that's very core heavy and actually mine with the core itself. And you have both core and memory being used in that kind of setup. So what happens? Like a lot of people are like, hey, it seems like my rig's running a little stronger, harder. Is that going to actually impact, my life of my GPU? Do I have an issue with maybe the riser going out a little faster? So the best way for us to check that is look at physically what is going on. So this power meter that we have here, you guys have seen several times to see what kind of impact that we're having on a power standpoint on the riser itself. So we've been able to segregate the riser versus the 12 volt power that comes in from the ancillary power and be able to look between those two. So right now, this particular GPU is a Radeon 6700 XT, and it is mining Ethereum right now. So let's take a look real quick at what the power usage of this is when it comes to the riser. So right now with optimal configuration, this thing is pulling 33 watts right now from the riser. You can see that down there on your side. It'd be in the lower right-hand corner. And that is the wattage pull there. So if we switch this over to the 12 volt rail, you can see that it's getting a supplemental power of also 82.8 watts right now, 84 watts on the 12 volts. So you take the summation of those two settings on there, and then that is the total power draw of this GPU mining Ethereum. And we can look over here. If I switch over to the screen, you can actually see it mining Ethereum right now and the rate that it's getting on Ethereum with the particular settings that we have in here now, which we'll make sure that we show to you. Now, let's pivot real quick and take a look at switching this over to TON plus Ethereum. And I'm gonna go ahead and just move this over to the dual mine. And we're gonna see right now in real time, as this starts to go and make that configuration change. We're using simple mining for this test. Hive will work the same way. And we're gonna switch back over to where you guys can see the power draw as you're seeing the miner start to spin up here. And we can look at what's the power draw now on the 12 volt rail, dual mining with using the same configs. So we've went from 84 on the 12 volt rail here to 104. So we've went up 20 watts on the actual 12 volt rail. Now let's take a look at the riser power. So the riser power now has went from 34 to 41. Now this is a very efficient card. So only going up 10 watts there and 20 watts in the other, we've went up 30 total watts putting the power on the core for TON. And this isn't probably the best configuration because I have the actual core down sped to make it efficient for Ethereum. But if we were to add a little more voltage and add a little more core, we'd get a nice bump in hash rate for TON. But with that will come an increase both on the riser and on the 12 volt rail. So just switching that immediately over, if you do no configuration change and you're just trying to get a little extra there, you're going to see a bump in total power usage there obviously, the key part and the takeaway from this is people that have mining rigs that have risers on SATA connectors, because a lot of folks, especially us back in the day, before there was a lot of 6-pin risers, use SATA connections as our power source on the riser. And we've always said, make sure if you're using SATA that it's a single SATA rail connected to it and, on that same strand. Well, that's rated around 50 watts. You don't want to be pushing more than 50 watts to that single SATA connection. If you have 2 GPUs connected on your SATAs, now you're getting into a situation where this would be pulling 80 watts, like if you were dual mining. Before, it was using about 60 watts, which is still a little more than you'd want to. And to give you an idea, a 478 gig or a 474 gig card, like the mining editions, use about 27 watts. So having 2 of those on a single SATA was okay because you were still under that 50 watt range. You were right around that same thing. But you got to be aware of this. If you're going to take that effort to dual mine, make sure you understand the power usage on your risers, because I don't want anybody burning anything down. I want to make sure people understand that. So that's what this quick test was, that you can see that. We can do a deeper dive if you guys like this type of content. We were going to go through a gamut of GPUs. So this is the 6700 as an example, but seeing this on like a 3090, on a 6900 XT, which does very well with TON and Ethereum at the same time. You guys let us know down in the description below. Is this interesting content for you? Would you like to see a spread of GPUs maybe on a live stream where we're just going through and testing and getting baseline testing for that? I'm going to assume the answer is going to be yes, so we'll make sure that we get that planned. But this was a quick one for you guys just to show you the difference in power usage when you're dual mining. Hopefully you guys like that. Make sure you're liking and subscribing below. Share this to people if you know they have mining rigs that are on SATA connectors, and make sure that they're aware of this when they're switching over to dual mine. All right, my dudes, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.